Fist in the Pockets comes out in 1965, right in the middle of the 60s. It's a very prosperous time for Italian cinema, but it's also a very troubling moment in the history of Italy. The Socialist Party entered the government coalition 2 years before, in 1963. We were in the middle of the Second Vatican Council that sort of brought reforms and novelty within the Catholic Church. This was like a pot boiling with different forms of social insufferance towards certain issues. So you started having some protests in schools and universities that, of course, will fully develop in 1968, 69. But there was this reaction that came from the generation that at the same time they couldn't find their place. Who are we? What are we doing in this society? How have we contributed to change it or not? So there is this generational sort of sense of being useless on some level. And of course, in the movie, the form of reacting to the coercion of society is murder. Is really the most primitive form of reacting to the fact that society tries to oppress you and take away your freedom and your ability to fully express yourself. There is this idea that anything Italian in black and white is neorealist. Bellocchio really defeats that idea with Fist in the Pockets deliberately. Neorealism would be very concentrated on social and political aspects and denouncing poverty in society, the results of the war, the struggle between the fascists and the anti-fascists. These are some of these topics. Whereas in Bellocchio, there is a much more intimate portrait of an unease of living that is of the mid-60s, but that could be of any other era. And there is a very aware moralism in the films of neorealism. They're teaching you what is right and what is wrong. And what is right and what is wrong is very clear. And Bellocchio really runs away from that. He's really trying to make you think with your own head, even when he puts you in a situation in which you deal with behaviors that are extreme, like the ones that we see in this movie.